If you're a fan of boxing, like I am, then you were happy to see Tommy Fury get his hand raised in victory this past Sunday in a decision victory, unanimous decision victory over Jake Paul. They've been going at it, having a war of words for about the past 2 years. True boxing fans were kind of sick and tired of seeing Jake Paul dominate the headlines. Now, I, for one, can appreciate that, at 20 years of age, he decided to take up a very rough sport. And it wasn't because he needed to fight his way out of harsh conditions or anything like that. He just wanted to challenge himself. And along the way of building his notoriety and his infamy and fame, depending on which side of the fence you are on with him, as far as being a fan or not, you got to respect that in his 6 fights, his victories, he did beat fighters, but they just weren't professional boxers. Defeating old retired MMA stars is not. It's not that it's not an accomplishment. I mean, those guys were champions. I mean, Anderson Silva was one of the greatest MMA fighters we've ever seen, and Jake Paul was able to defeat him in a boxing match. So that was a lifelong martial artist who he was able to defeat in a boxing match. Same thing with beating Woodley twice, former champion in the UFC. Askren was a contender. So it's not that he wasn't impressive in the sense that he's a YouTuber coming into the sport of boxing and actually defeating fighters, but he wasn't defeating them in their primes and he wasn't defeating them in their sports. So the boxing world, the public, and otherwise was kind of sick of him getting more fame, more shine, more money than actual boxers who were dedicated to the craft and building their way up the rankings and toiling on undercards and unseen, not on TV, not getting any hits on their Instagram or Twitter, nothing. Just toiling away, not getting any kind of respect or recognition. So here comes Tommy Fury. He's somewhat of a celebrity boxer himself, and with only a couple more fights than Jake Paul himself, but he's supposedly the better boxer, and he did prove that on Sunday. This past Sunday, he showed that he is more of an actual boxer than Jake Paul. Actual boxing skill and technique defeated Jake Paul's, desperation attempts at, landing his what is a powerful right hand. So, not to take anything away from Jake Paul, he deserves respect for hanging in there, showing a good show. But it's a good thing he lost because he does not deserve to be ranked by the WBC in any kind of top anything, even if he were to have beat Tommy Fury. And what is he going to do next? Because during that fight, sure, he can continue with training and get better, but I mean, does he realistically have a chance at becoming a real competitive boxer now? I mean, does Tommy Fury really even have a chance of becoming a champion at all one day? I mean, that was his 9th pro fight. I didn't see anything that looked like he could be an actual contender in that performance. I mean, he did get a decision victory over Jake Paul, but I mean, he really had to earn it. And even got knocked down at one point. Even though he did slip, he still got hit. So it was a knockdown. He didn't just slip. He got punched and slipped at the same time. That's a knockdown. So, their respective futures in boxing don't look that bright, but even less so for Jake Paul. So I'm sure they're going to try to get a rematch. People will watch the rematch. But beyond that, who's Jake Paul going to fight? Him trying to call out guys like Canelo. I mean, yeah, right. It was a joke then. It's even more of a joke now that we've seen what happened when he fought a guy like Tommy Fury. Just think of what a fighter like Canelo would do to him. I mean, yeah, but he wouldn't even have survived the whole 8 rounds if it wasn't for his excessive holding. I mean, there was 2 point deductions, one from either fighter. So the referee was kind of trying to demonstrate control and that he was applying the rules, but then he wasn't doing anything about the excessive holding. Just a lot of separation and stern finger pointing, but never any actual warnings. And that's how Jake Paul survived. I mean, he was hugging and just hugging. And I mean, between all the hugging Jake Paul was doing in the fight and the antics at the weigh-in with the nipple flicking and the reaching for Fury's groin, I mean, It's more like Jake Paul was trying to start a bromance than start a fight. But either way, it was entertaining, it was fun, and for boxing purists, fans of the sport, we were like, thank you, Tommy Fury, for putting this dude in his place as far as humbling him. And he deserves respect. He's out there doing it. So, but that aside, he's playing up the villain role, and it was just good to see him lose to a real boxer. So that way we could move on from that and get back to highlighting real boxers. I'm no expert, I just call it how I see it. And much respect to him for challenging himself. But, you know, the circus ends pretty much now. So until next time, UNO.